Good morning, students. Today we're going to talk about verbs like gustar. In Spanish, we use indirect object pronouns to tell who is doing the liking. So as you look at your screen, you'll see that the indirect object pronouns are the things that are in big letters. So we have our me, te, le, nos, os, and les. You are going to need one of these things when you make your sentences for verbs like gustar. You'll also notice that in the chart there are what we call clarifying phrases. A mí, a ti, a él, a ella, a usted, a Juan, a nosotros, a nosotras, a vosotros or vosotras, a ellos, ellas, or ustedes. These come first in the sentence. And the second thing is the indirect object pronoun. So depending on what it is that you're going to say, you need to take one of the clarifying phrases along with its matching indirect object pronoun, and that would be the start of your sentence. So I might say something like a mí me, or a vosotros os, or a ellos les. So you need to have one of each of those at the beginning of your sentence. When we talk about verbs like gustar, gustar and the other verbs that are like it have no yo form, they have no tu form, no nosotros, and no vosotros form. So the only forms that you're going to have are going to be the singular forms that end in a if it's an AR verb, or e if it is an E or an IR verb. We have an if it is an AR verb, and we have en if it is an ER or an IR verb. So my only two choices for the verb gustar would be gusta and gustan. Ooh boy. We use gusta when we talk about a singular thing. A mí me gusta el fútbol. Notice that fútbol is singular and therefore goes with gusta. A mí and me match together. We also use gusta when we talk about doing something. If there's an infinitive that comes after it, then the verb has to be gusta. So we have our mí me, which matches gusta and jugar, and we get a mí me gusta jugar el fútbol. We use gustan when we have a plural thing. In this sentence, los deportes is plural, and therefore gustan is the verb. Notice that the verb always matches what comes at the end of the sentence. So a mí me go together, and gustan en los deportes, just like gustan jugar and a mí me. Here are some examples of gustar in infinitive verbs. Notice our a mí me goes together. We look at ver la televisión, and we have to use gusta with it because we use that with infinitives. The a ti te goes together, and then gusta and escuchar go together, because escuchar is an infinitive verb. So we say, a ti te gusta escuchar a las canciones en tu iPod. We can use verbs like gustar with singular nouns. Now notice that caer is an ER verb, so it gets an en instead of the an. So the a mí me go together, and then the caen bien, the amigos, is what makes caen plural. The a ti te go together, and if tu perro is what we're talking about, then that is what makes that encanta. As I'm looking at this, if it were singular, we'd say, a mí me cae bien tu amigo. So ignore those S's. My bad. More examples. A ella le gustan las canciones en español. Notice the a ella le match together. Those come out of the same spot in the chart. Then we look at the canciones and we head back to gustan. Canciones is plural, so it has to be gustan. A mí me matches, and then we look at what comes after gustar, los fines de semana. A mi madre le matches, and then we look at los pendientes to decide that it's going to be gustan. A mi madre le gustan los pendientes. If you want to make a statement negative, all you have to do is drop the no in. The no comes between the clarifying statement and the IOP. Okay, and the clarifying phrase, we'll call it. So notice that the no drops right in. A mí no me gustan los lunes. A ella no le cae bien su familia. Here's a list of some verbs like gustar. Now, if you notice, there are a lot of verbs that are AR verbs. Encantar, faltar, fascinar, molestar. Remember that these are either going to end in an A or an AN for AR verbs. Down here we have an ER verb, and that ER verbs can end in an E or an EN, so you have to pay attention to what type of word it is. Quedarle bien already has the le with it, so that le will come to the front, and you'll change it to whatever it needs to be, the me, te, le, nos, os, les. So this verb is just showing you that it needs an indirect object pronoun. More verbs like gustar, you'll notice that some of these are IR verbs. Doler has a stem changer, make sure that you get that in your notes. And that verbs can be either AR or ER or IR, so be sure to pay attention to the endings on those. Falta isn't a verb that gets conjugated. Hacer would be the verb that you would conjugate in that phrase. Práctica. So what we want you to do is take some time and try to do these sentences by yourself. Make sure that you're matching the clarifying phrase and the indirect object pronoun together, and then that the verb and whatever is being liked together comes. So remember that this last part of the sentence affects gustar, and this a ti tells us what our IOP needs to be. And the IOP actually comes there in the middle. So when you're putting your sentences together, here are the answers. A ti te gustan las botas de cuero. Those two things go together, and the a ti te go together. A él le fascina llevar ropa con lentejuelas. So we have an infinitive verb. That's why we have a singular form of a verb like gustar. A nosotros nos goes together, and then los pendientes means that we have to have encantan. A ellos les goes together, and then we look to the end to make sure that we have plural and plural matching. A mí me goes together, and then la medalla de oro is singular, and so therefore the verb is singular as well. Go to Moodle and do verbs like gustar number 1, please. Thank you.